Mike Moore Media.
I'm talking to Kathleen Patterson, Mayodan Town Manager. Hey, Kathleen.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, we wanted to kind of take a look back at last week's town council meeting, some things that were covered there. Let's talk about an amendment to the golf cart ordinance. A little bit of change there to kind of help out with some safety issues.
Yes, sir. So they wanted to kind of put in place something that actually set a time frame for when you could ride your golf cart. We'd had some instances where people were riding well after dark and that kind of stuff, and so there was a little bit of confusion. So they wanted to make sure that they put an actual time frame in, and so that is what they chose to do. So now you have I'm looking for my notes, and to be honest, I don't have them. So,
well, I have mine right here. So,
well, there you go.
Golf carts allowed on the streets in Maidan between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. only.
Yes, sir.
And I think you made the comment, too, or someone did there, we have currently about 45 registered golf carts in the town.
Yes, indeed. They are rolling in. The golf carts register every year, and their new registration starts July 1. So if you've not come in and gotten your registration for this year, you'll want to do that. The police department does look to make sure you have the correct registration sticker on your car a year, and if they see that you do not, they will stop you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to make that change. Helpful in a number of different ways there. The old Washington Mills site there, finally getting to a point to clean up some of the debris there. So give us an update on that, Kathleen.
So we were actually able. The state was very generous, and they gave us $1 million in last year to work on cleaning up the site and getting those debris piles taken care of. So I don't know if everybody knows, but they've got about 6 piles that have been there since the site was destroyed and demolished and somewhat cleaned up. But there's 6 piles that have been there for quite a long time, is my understanding. One of which is a hazardous waste pile. So it's had asbestos and it's got all of that type of material in it. And so we were able to bid process, and we had a bidder come through, Buckeye Elm, and they are going to be able to clean up that pile and get rid of it, which will be great because that'll help a lot. But then also the other piles as well. So we'll actually be able to see less debris, hopefully, and then eventually, once the EPA is done with their testing, we can move forward with creating some walking trails and potentially river access and get it so that it's back into use and not just sitting there staring at us.
Yeah. Oh, won't that be nice to finally do something on that property?
Yes, it'll be wonderful. And we've actually got permission to keep the building that's on site, so the next step in the process with the monies that we have left from the $1 million after Buckeye Elm is done, we will look to that building and try to start planning for the use of that and the repair of that, so that we can actually keep the remaining structure, a little piece of the history, maybe add if possible, I have my own vision, as I'm sure everybody does, of that building, but if it's possible to add a better roof on it, and maybe steeper so that we can get a little height on the ceiling. But hopefully that will be able to be used for like a year-round farmer's market or curb market type situation, but also to be able to hold potentially concerts or, all kinds of different things that we can imagine. But it'll also add to be able to kind of remind us of what was there and part of the history of the town.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. The bid on that, $891,000, $891,807, I believe, to be exact there. So you got a little bit left to do some stuff with.
We do, and hopefully if they get in there and it doesn't cost as much as they, anticipate in the bid, because they always have to, that's really just an estimated cost. Hopefully we'll have a little bit extra. But they're a good company. They've been doing this for many years, and they work all over the nation, but they've been steadily in North Carolina working on these brownfield sites for quite a while. So I know that we've got a good company. They'll do it right, so we won't have any worries there. The EPA is also aware of them, so that's always key. When your environmental agencies are like the company, know the company, you're also in a better position.
Yeah, and I understand it will take maybe on site about 37 work days. When do you think they'll start?
We're in the process of working through the contract, and once we have that in place, we're hoping to have them start in September.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
So we can see that get cleaned up really quick, and then hopefully kind of begin that process of, what do we want it to look like? With the EPA still in testing mode, we still have some issues on site, so we're just waiting for them to complete their assessments. Once their assessments are done, we'll be part of a brownfield agreement with the state, and that'll actually tell us any other additional remediation we may have to do on site, whether we have to throw up dirt or if wherever they find it, if we can cap it, is what they call it. We want to make sure it's going to be safe for people to use, so that's why we're still in that process. But once they have that in place and we remediate anything that they want taken up out of the ground, we will be able to move forward their standards and requirements. So I don't anticipate that we'll be able to put up any more structures, but I think we'll be able to put up, benches or simple stuff that's a very low impact to the site.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, moving forward on the new housing development on River Road with Rakestraw Investment. So bring us up to date on that, Kathleen.
Well, they're underway, and it's about 99 to 100 houses. I think I've heard both numbers. Mm-hmm. They had come into us to request a waiver for the pipe, so we have a standard of ductile iron for our piping here in Maidan, and they, given to supply chain issues and the challenges of everybody being able to get things anymore, they've run into that concern. So they are looking at shifting to a PVC pipe that's essentially rated very similar to ductile iron. The challenge is the length of the life of the pipe. So that was the concern there, but the council has moved forward with that. So they are out there grading and moving along. So look for some houses to be popping up in that area, and they will be for sale through D.R. Horton. So if anybody's looking for a new place to live, there'll be a nice development out there.
Mm-hmm. That is going to be very nice. And we need that housing, don't we?
We do, and I think we'll see a lot more of that coming up to 20. So out of Greensboro and the things, everything's just growing. Mm-hmm. I wasn't able to attend it, but I know that Ontex just did their grand opening right off of 65, and I mean that's just the potential there is the growth opportunities are just coming, and which is a great thing for our area.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, I wanted to mention also our police chief, Charles Caruso, made some very important presentations there, law enforcement certificates. You've got a good team there with the Mayodan Police Department.
We do. We have an amazing group of individuals that are on our team, and they. I admire Charlie and his Captain Todd Brim. There is an emphasis on education. They want them to be the best trained officers that you can have, and we have a very highly trained staff here on the police department. So I'm just very blessed to come into a town that has that type of department, and they're so friendly as well. So good group of people.
Yeah. Dolores Fulcher, been with the department 17 years, Landon Fellow 6 years, Patrick Wilson 2.5, and Chris Lawson, he received the highest certification possible, advanced law enforcement, 20 years in law enforcement. That says a lot right there.
Exactly. We've got a lot of long-term officers, which is amazing nowadays when you think about all of the challenges being brought to people in law enforcement. It's a great career opportunity, just challenging right at this time in our environment that we're in. So I admire them for what they do, and they really are just wonderful to people in town. They really are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those are some of the things we certainly wanted to mention. Anything else we need to go over, Kathleen?
Well, there is an event that we're going to try out. We're working with the Western Rockingham Chamber of Commerce, and we are looking to draw in some folks so they can kind of check out Farris Memorial Park while showing off their fabulous cars that they might love. Mm-hmm. We're going to do a Cars and Coffee at the end of this month on Saturday, so that'll be a fun thing to look at. It'll be from 9 a.m. until 11 on Saturday the 30th. So come on out to Farris Memorial Park. Bring your favorite ride. It can be like a classic car. It could be one of the new fancy jobs. It could be a motorcycle. It could be a truck. Just come on out and visit us, and we'll have Children's Coffee up there for everybody to partake. And you can just come and hang out with other people that love cars. It'll be a fun, relaxing event to start your Saturday.
Lots of good things happening at Farris Memorial Park. That's a real asset there in western Rockingham County for many, many years. And I guess we should mention that fast-pitch softball tournament that's coming up Saturday, August 6th. How's that coming along? Have you heard?
They are moving right along. I think we were blessed that they needed a place to play, and we had a place for them to rent. So they are renting our fields, and we're going to bring that back hopefully more often. So you can come on out and see that. And it definitely does not take away from in Madison Maidan Recreation. They've got a ton of stuff happening as well. So lots of potentials for activity. And I know that our disc golf course up at Farris Memorial Park is becoming more and more active. And I believe there's actually going to be a nighttime tournament that they're going to try out at the disc golf course. So there's all kinds of fun things that are happening around, and we just hope everybody will take advantage of them.
Oh, sure, yeah. And the paddle boats are back on the lake.
The paddle boats are back, yes. So anybody that's interested, it's $4 per person for a rental for a half an hour, but they're out on the lake from, I believe it's from noon until 6 p.m. So come on out and relax and paddle boat around the lake there and just enjoy a day at the park.
Yeah, and nice walking trails, bike trails, and all of that at Farris Memorial Park.
That's it.
Okay.
Just 5 minutes outside of downtown Maidan.
Oh, you can probably get there quicker.
Probably, yes, but I tend to drive slower than.
Yeah, okay. I could probably do it in 4 minutes.
Yes, you probably could.
Well, it's always good to talk with you, Kathleen, and find out about all the good things happening around Maidan. And we certainly want to mention our fine businesses and all the folks there. Anything else? We've got a couple of minutes. Anything else you need to mention?
I would just say that if you have not gotten out of your house and come downtown and just take some of the wonderful food, I've been enjoying our food here in Mayodan. So unfortunately for my hips, I've been enjoying the food. But it's a great town. It's a great place, and we live in a beautiful part of Rockingham County. So I hope everybody will come out and just enjoy the river. We've also got, I should say this, the M&M Rec has started up tubing again. So if you've not come and taken an opportunity to do that, you're missing out. That's a pretty fun deal there.
Yeah. Talking to Lee Mitchell, the director, recently, people are coming from far away to get in on Madtown tubing.
That is true. So we are very excited to see people come in and visit, and it's just a wonderful opportunity for our area.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kathleen, thanks again, and we'll talk again next month.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great day.
You do too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Kathleen Patterson. She is town manager in Mayodan. And let me remind you, you can get more information about what's happening right there at townofmayodan.com. That's their website. And then on Facebook, of course, they keep that current with all kinds of activities. The Town of Mayodan, NC. And don't forget our fine businesses that Kathleen was just mentioning. Those great merchants in Mayodan as well. Our program is sponsored by Nadine Cobb Accounting and Tax. Downtown Mayodan, Nadine is our accountant personally and for Mike Moore Media. So we know firsthand what great work she does, personal business taxes, and so many people depend on her because she's, in our case, she's so much smarter than we are, and she knows what to do and does it right at Nadine Cobb Accounting and Tax, and she's right there in the downtown area. And let me give you her phone number: 336-427-9060, 427-9060. Get more information on her website at incobbtax.com, incobbtax.com.